Okay, cool. What's going on? So I tried to actually bother you this game. I'm gonna be honest, I lost my fucking mind. I this game, like, for a surprisingly good draft, like, they just troll. Hold up, okay. Uh, so talking about draft, hold up, let's skip ahead a little bit. We see it's Venusaur. Venusaur does get locked in. It's not the one, but whatever. So I actually like this in terms of like what's going on here. I think that Delphox and because like Mystical Fire and then Flame Charge, I think just synergize really well with what they're doing in terms of like Delphox and Teleon. Because you can also go like Fell Stinger, Liquidation, and I think you have a good comp there. I also think Clefable is really nice here because you can go into like Gravity, and I think Gravity just makes it impossible for this team comp to play a little bit. On the other hand, I like what's going on the other side as well. I think that between like, these two, you got a really good dive, and then Venusaur can kind of play in the middle as a carry. I also like the space control here. Although I think Scald might be a shout, I think it's better to go Surf and just go double Surf here, control a bunch of space, and then have these two follow up. And then again, like I was saying earlier, I think you have a really good answer here in terms of like, he's going to try to dive, he's going to try to dive, he's going to try to dive. And I think that's just good solutions within draft, which is like one of the better drafts I've seen here. Yeah. The only other thing is like, I'm not 100% sure about whether I like both. I'm not really sure whether I like both of these here, because I feel like you could maybe lack damage if you get set behind. But yeah, don't worry. This game is going to go to shit very quickly, so we can kind of skip through draft. It's not that important. Oh, look, cute child. Now it's time to rage. So I'm going to wait until we actually get a little bit further. Okay, so starting off immediately. This is pathing towards red side, which I don't like. I maintain you should always start blue. CDR is just better, because it's not like this gives you any of the red buffs. Because like the reason that you'd start red in other games is like HP regen, the passive burn effect. But this doesn't give you any of that. It's just the slow, and you naturally get HP whenever you kill a Pokemon. So like whenever you kill one of these, you get HP back, so it doesn't matter. So CDR is much more effective because you can then clear a lot faster if you're doing like the path that's sort of like that, if you ignore my shitty arrow. It's also, I think, just better to have this buff refreshing more often. The other thing is, and it's something that I've thought about more recently, which is like, this is taking a 50-50, because they are basically just assuming you start red. If you start blue, by the time it takes them to get here, they can't get down here in time to actually steal, especially because it's a melee support. So I just don't like that. Not to mention, I'm not a huge fan of what's going on here, which is, yeah. So you can also see here, this is a little bit hard to see, but the Slowbro makes some weird fucking decisions in terms of exiting. Like instead of exiting towards this side of the map, which I think is just better, he exits towards like the top side, rotating this direction, which doesn't make sense to me because you just saw Blissey over here. Yeah, because like how you ever get in this scenario where you're here, where like you're up here, your ADC's down here, like makes no sense to me. I just don't get it. Not to mention you can see the invade also works, so I don't know why you're ever trying to take this secure battle, because you don't have enough to actually do it. This is like, sus. So, they're going to pull this down here, I think is a mistake. Like I've been maintaining, you should just pull off, try to force them on to reset, make it gain HP. When they have to step forward, they're very vulnerable. You also have a 2v1 in terms of topside shove. The Zacians can't actually hold the pad very well, level 1, so it's not that great. By some miracle, the Sobble gets that, so I guess it's not actually that bad. This, again, makes no sense, like this weird counter invade. I don't get it. Because, again, you just saw these two back off, so you know they're over in this area, and they can be, like, you know they're over here. This is about the range they could be in. And so the moment you move forward here is Slowbro, you're just kind of trolling. Like, this is just, I don't get it, man. You're just flipping. Like, you're just opting to flip the game level 3. Because you have to know this happens. He hits 5 if he gets that, so. I mean, Sobble gets 1, right? 21, 12, 10, 13. Oh. So Brixton gets 1. And then Slowbro is just, again, he's off in fucking Narnia, man. Like, even for a level 3, he's really low XP. Yeah, so I don't like how long they stay here. I think once you get the single score, you kind of just have to back off. Because you just saw, right, like if we're talking about information that you know, you just saw breaks in here, breaks in, moves away, so you know that breaks in is still within the area because it's only been 2 seconds, they can't have run that far. So once you sort of get 2 attempts thwarted, you have to get out here. I mean, I think this is just a fuck up from the Sobble. I think greeting for the kill here is a mistake. I mean, you can't really even stop the score. It would have been nice to, but I don't think it's possible. I mean, they do flash get the kill, so it's not that bad of a trade in terms of, like, where the XP is going. But they're still going negative in terms of XP. And, like, look at how little the fucking Slowbro is doing because he's trolled away his entire levels lead. It's like, this makes me so fucking infuriating. He's running it down on a big fucking stage. You just saw him invade for no reason, and then just fucking run this direction, and do it again. Like, it makes no sense. It's also like, if he has XP, he's probably 4, they get that kill, that's an entirely different story in terms of how this dive turns out. Because you get that kill on the Urshi, the game is entirely different at this point. But like, right now you can just see 3, I mean, like, even if you're doing just direct comparisons, down a level, even, down 2, down 1, down 1. And like, topside obviously isn't necessarily Slowbro's fault, but a lot of this is Slowbro's fault in terms of what's going on. again, I have zero clue why you try to contest this. Like, you're just hoping for miracle steals at this point, and it makes no sense to actually go in. Because, like, look at the levels, 4 or 5. You know, you've got somebody who's being zoned out on top side, so it's, you can't get in there. You know, the 2 people are down here, it's a 3v3 basically. You're down 2 levels, down a level, down a level. Why are you fighting? Like, you're just going to give over free XP unless you get a miracle kill somehow, and you just don't have damage for that. Like, they're just going to continue to farm this slow, bro. This is why I don't trust people when they say that, like, trading for regis isn't good. Because, like, if teams are willing to cap this early, why not just trade for the regi and get the cap instead that way? It doesn't make sense to me. Like, this is why I'm a little sus of the arguments that, like, trading is good. Because it implies that either A, like, because there's 2 scenarios, right? A, B. A is that the pad argument is valid, so we'll actually just say valid, and then invalid. So what I mean by this is, like, people will talk about, hey, you shouldn't push these pads in super early. And, like, one of the big arguments I saw was against, like, trading for regi eleki for, like, bottom regi, is that you shouldn't push pads in because people will get more rotations of odd nose, which means they're getting extra farm, comeback XP, all that sort of good stuff. But this basically makes me think that there's either 2 outcomes here, right? Either A, the argument is valid and pro teams just don't give a shit, like, right? That's what happens here. Or the argument is invalid, and in that case, trading is a better option. And in either case, pro teams are doing things incorrectly. And this is what I think is important to realize when people are talking about, like, not having a strategic depth to the game. Where, like, you have to realize that these are, like, the 2 binary options here when I'm talking about trading for regis. Obviously, the scenarios aren't always the same, right? Because saying, like, oh, I'm going to trade for regi eleki every time isn't true, and I'm not arguing for that. I don't want people to think I'm arguing for that. But at the same time, in scenarios like this, I think blue team, they're probably going... Actually, I'll let the clock run for 30 seconds and we'll see, but I'd bet fucking money they're going to go contest bot regi for 0 reason. But, like, if you're blue team here, I think the idea is you just trade. Like, you're going to lose the XP advantage that you're technically getting from the odd nose down here, but this lane is already so turbo fucked that it doesn't matter. And, like, you just swap Inteleon and Delphox topside, you put the Blastoise War Turtle down here, and then you just have him play defender on what is weak side at this point, and then you just make this side your strong side, aim to get a bunch of XP onto these 2. Because if they can get a bunch of XP, they can carry the game. No, they're not actually doing it, so good on them for making the correct decision, which is to trade here. It's a bit awkward because, like, regi steal feels bad. Excuse me. I think regi steal is probably the worst to trade for. Because I think the attack, special attack, it's like, what, 21% or something? I think it's 24% defense. Rock. Steel. And then 5% HP for ice. One of these is clearly worse than the other, which is this bad boy. I think it's arguable that you can trade for Regi Rock, but at the same time, I think trading for Regi Shield just feels bad. what's nice is you're playing it. So, again, this is another benefit of regi eleki that I don't think is considered, which is like this guy's an additional man in terms of the amount of damage he does. He does a fuck ton of damage. So like you can see here, they're fighting what is basically a 3v2. The goal here should just be to escort him in. So here's the biggest issue with regi eleki. I apologize. My nose, I'm probably going to have to go grab my Kleenex. My nose is running really badly right now. But the biggest issue with regi eleki is that if you kill him, you gain a similar amount of XP. So you need to make sure he gets onto pad. You don't need to actually score. You just need to try to shove him in as far as possible. And if he gets into pad, you just fucking run the fuck away. Because if they kill him, they get a similar amount of XP. So any XP gain you've gotten is nullified. Unless you specifically wanted the XP on like a carry, right? Like if you're like, okay, well, we're going to get our XP on the Telion, they're going to get it on like, oh, the Chansey or like the Zacian, and that's bad. That's a fine trade. So, like, I understand why they went with this fight, because it's a 2-for-1 with the upside. Like, you're looking at the health bar on this guy, and it's like, he's low as fuck. If we get him, we get a reset, and, like, we can maybe win the fight. But, like, I just don't think you're ever able to actually kill him here. Because, like, there comes out the ult. 5v5 topside. Trading 1-for-1. And, like, you can just see how little damage you're doing here. Yeah, and then once the healing comes out, it's game over. What I would have liked to have seen is... When did they rotate up topside? They're contesting here, so Tsareena is just matching. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen some sort of, like, try to push out this and, like, maybe trade an objective. But I don't think that's necessarily possible, given that Tsareena is just kind of matching and playing tether to Slowbro. That said, I don't think this is bad. Like, you're getting a bunch of catch-up XP, and, like, they're about 2 levels above you, so you're getting a lot more value in terms of kills. At the same time, this game is fucking over, because homeboy trolled level 1 and decided to just fucking throw the game away. Like, these people have no game sense, and this is what I mean by, like, I hate watching Korean teams play, because they're gonna fucking sin their brains out. At least they're better than KTRY in terms of the fact that they're actually gonna fucking lose. Ah, yeah, that's true. For those of you that can't see it, I got chat pulled up, and Paladin Knight Prime is saying in chat, like, nobody's ever actually low HP with Blissey, which is just true. It's so true, because this isn't like... Because, like, in this game, like, even... I don't know how cursed items are going to affect it. It might be, but, like, I don't think it's going to actually do that much, because, like, 35% I don't think is a ton in terms of healing. I think Grievous Wounds is, like, what, 40%? And then, like, 60% below 50? I don't know off the top of my head. I know it's at least 40, though. And, like, there's just a ton of healing here. You've got, like, what? There's not really a ton of regen built in the kits, but off of resets, he's going to heal a bunch once he gets his ult up. It's like, not happening, man. That's That's never good to see. Looks like it's just a bit otherwise. It looks like it's just one of those, you're not expecting it to auto-target onto Blissey, but it just kind of does. Blissey going down a tier due to a combination of Curse, Umbreon, and more mages existing. I mean, that makes sense, but... Where is the... There we go. Yeah, so it's 40%. Like Grievous Wounds in PC League isn't a lot, and it's only 40%. And I'm pretty sure, like... I don't know where... Yeah, it's got enhanced too, which is just... There is a lot of stuff about that, like... there's nothing on enhanced. Yeah, I know in Wild Rift there's enhanced too. Curse items are nuts. Other curse items refresh the cooldown. Yeah, because, I mean, 30% isn't actually that much. Like, I get why it's important, because, like, I'd imagine it's like, like, in terms of healing done, I'd imagine it's like, bar graph, yeah. I'd imagine it's like, oh, you have, like, this much healing done, to, like, probably about that much healing done over time. But, like, even then, what was that return? Wait, so you have to hit... Hold up. Yeah, no, 30% is definitely like a good amount, but the other thing I want to check is... Yeah, so this was the old effect. This was one the Wild Rift has. This is the new one. The question I have is, what's the text on how this applies? Yeah, because I'm pretty sure how Grievous Wounds works is... I'd need to actually do some testing on this. But how Grievous Wounds work is it's so, like, if you have two champions, right, and you do like 30 damage to this champion, Grievous Wounds will apply to this champion. But how this reads to me is it says, right, like if you have a healer that's healing this guy, let me get a different color. So champ 1, champ 2, so if you do like 30 damage to this guy, right, this is 30 damage, his healing will be reduced by 40%. However, how this reads to me is it says their HP recovery effect, which, like, I don't know if it's intended to read weird, but their HP recovery effect makes me think it has to be based off of them. And if, like, somebody else healed them, they'd still get the full 40 healing. Is that how it works? Or is this just one of those, like, I'm being an idiot and reading too much into it? HP recovery effect. Okay, yeah, so I'm just reading too much into this. Every form of healing, okay. Okay. Okay, let's actually do this math. No, we want 0.7. 201. So it's about 80 healing reduction. So you're getting plus hold up, let's move this over here. We'll just where's Inteleon? Inteleon's still good, so we'll use him. This will be easier to calc with this. So 233. The formula is 53.5. Okay, so comparatively, if Inteleon grabs this, Crisp Angle, so 39 versus, what's he dropping it for? He's probably dropping it for choice specs, right? I don't think you drop Wise Glasses. I don't think you drop Slick Spoon. Slick Spoon is too good. It's probably choice specs. Right. Notepad. Okay, let's go down this rabbit hole. What's a champ that would run it then? I want to do the math on this, because that makes sense to me. Because it looks like this is way too much damage you're losing out on. Because you're losing out on what? 40. I gotta move this so I can actually read it. 60 plus 40%. Versus like you're getting 39. What's the base? So it's 39 base. And then we get 39, 30% healing reduction, 39. We're not dropping Slick Spoon, so 7% increase. Pika? Okay. Where is Pikachu? Element OP. Okay. Special attack. We should pop you to 15. Make it easier standardized at 15, because that'll be full kit anyways. Okay. It's probably like what? I don't know what the set is for this guy. I assume it's probably like Electro Ball, like what, Thunderbolt or something? 315 times 5. That's more damage here, so it might be Volt Tackle. Just use Thunderbolt? Okay. Thunderbolt. Oh, okay. So Thunderbolt. We're looking at 39%. Versus. Let's grab, what is it? It's what? 210, 30, 20%. 210. 210 HP. 30s. 20%. 10. So Bliss is gonna do, what is this? 1240 and so 1240 plus 505 times 2, so we'll use the base 1240, it'll be easier. 1240, so Pikachu's going Thunder, Thunderbolt. He's gonna be doing 509. That's the only base stats though. So his special attack is 954. 954. Now we pop up the calculator. What it is? What's my ratio? 22. 954 special attack base. 15. 22% plus 5 x level minus 1. So this is always going to be 5 times 14. So it's going to be what? 70. So this is going to be 70 base. It's going to be 70. 22 plus 70. And then plus 230. Plus 230. And then 22% of 954 times point. Let's just make sure this comes out to what it should be, because I don't want to do this and then realize that I had the math wrong. 209 plus 70 plus 230. 509? Okay, cool. So my math is correct. That is good to know that I can do basic math with a calculator. Really proud of myself for that one. Okay. So it's gonna just be 22% plus 300. And then what we can see here. Okay, so base stats isn't actually gonna change a ton here in terms of 39. And since this is not getting cut for sure, pretty much we'll leave it in. 39% special attack, 10% increase. Okay, so the base is 954. 954 times, yeah, 509 every tick. 594 times what? 1.07. So that's going to be 1020. 0 to 0.78 glasses. Oh, I actually have to do this differently. Because it calcs, pretty sure it calcs 954 plus 37, or plus 39. And then it calcs into whatever it's doing. 993. And then I gotta multiply this by 0.7. 10. 993 times 1.07. That's 162.5. Not sure if that rounds up or down. Okay, so we did this one. So 60 plus 40% special attack. So it's gonna be 60, or we don't even need to do that. We want to do 40. So times 1.40, or no, times 0.40. So 993 times 0.4, 397. And then, what is it? It'd be 1062 times 0.5 times 0.4, not 0.04. That's 425. 5 times 0.4 is 425. Okay. So not a big difference in terms of special attack there, and then plus 60. So that's on there as well as that. Okay, so he's gonna be doing, is that actually proccing on this? Yes, okay. Okay, so this, we got this. So this is gonna be proccing and it's gonna deal 993. So without glasses, it's gonna be doing so what, 993, or no, yeah, without glasses it's 993 per tick, and then plus the first tick is going, first tick has 397 plus 60, which is what, like 4 something, 457, 457 extra added. This is proc on, yeah, it's one target. Okay, that's important to remember. Okay, that's next. Okay, cool. Without glasses, and that is with specs. This is without specs, with glasses, and so it's going to be doing 102.67, or it's just a 2.5 per tick, and then with both, it's going to be 62.5, and then 485 first tick, 45 extra first tick. Healing reduction is going to be what? We want Blissey at 15, 1240 times 0.7, 1240 times 0.7 is 868. Healing reduction 1240 times 0.7 is 868. So what's the delta here? So you're looking at a difference 1240 minus 868, 372. And how much additional damage did you get with the glasses? With specs, you got 425, and without it, you got 397. Yeah, so healing reduction isn't worth it. Well, that's also per tick. Healing reduction is DOT, right? So it's technically, so based on how this is calced, first of all, if you're talking about just straight up flat damage, okay, so that's delta, a delta of negative 372 healing. I need to put the A there. So it is flat out more damage. Specs is more damage. It would be less damage over time based on the initial proc, right? No, it's exactly the same amount. Or actually, I'm not also counting the healing on the second one as well, right? Because it holds 2 in reserve. And I'll be used more than once every 2 seconds. Yeah, so healing is better against like Blissey, but if they have straight up, right? Because so okay, hold up. So we ignore this. This isn't useful. So it's the same amount of damage. Healing reduction. Okay, so Specs is more damage, which is to be expected. And the delta that you would lose in terms of straight out flat damage, so you're losing burst for less, for what is technically more DOT. In healing reduction. With heals 5 of them, because Egg Bomb gets 5 in stock. Yeah. This was just straight up like I mean, what else would you run? Because you got... I mean, I guess you could go Energy Amp. I don't know if you'd go Energy Amp on Pika. But I was like... Because straight up, like, this item is broken. It is really good. Because, like, just look at the delta in terms of damage. Because this is what you're looking at for if you go with Specs. And this is what you're looking at in terms of if you go with, like, Wise Glasses. It's... Jesus Christ. Curse Spoon Amp? That makes sense. What's the damage ratios? Yeah, there's no point in dropping Slick Spoon. That's never gonna happen. It's a pen item, and you need pen. Yeah, every tick of Thunder procs, of course. I think people are making this out, from what I've also seen on Twitter, I think people are making this out to be extremely clear in terms of like, oh, yeah, I can just swap out choice specs, or like, I can just 1-for-1 swap out any item I want to for held items in terms of like, hey, and I now have healing reduction. And like, I think that the delta here just shows that it's not that simple. Because it's also like, Blissey is one example. What do we have on? Because people probably aren't going to play a ton of. Clefable, Heal Pulse. Yeah, it's probably good against Clefable as well. Comfy is... I don't think it's great, right? Because it's one... Yeah, see, like, I think that it's better. Yeah, I think personally, after, like, reading some of these, I think it's going to be better against... like... against supports without multiple uses. Because, like, I think Comfy is clearly the answer if I'm like, oh, who aren't you buying it against? Comfy. Because Comfy is just a straight up, you're going to use it once. And then it's done. Because, like, I think it's maybe, like, worthwhile against... Then again, it is a lot more in terms of healing. I'd need to do math on that because the ratios seem better in terms of what it's aiming for. Be 930. Yeah, Comfy Passive has the stacks, right? Yeah. Yeah, the stacks. Oh, where is it? Because base shield doesn't do anything against... Yeah, because this champion is just straight up Yumi. Except you have to actually manage your resources. Because you just gotta, like, use your flowers well. Okay, I think we've gone down the rabbit hole far enough. And this has been slightly derailed, but here we go again. I don't want to watch the rest of this game. I don't know what it is about Korean teams that make me hate watching them. But, like, this is some KT Rolster ass behavior. The nice thing about trading earlier, which I don't think I mentioned, is, like, having these objectives be synced means you can try to attempt to trade multiple times. Like, they're moving topside, I think, in expectation of some sort of push out this way. But, like, they're just going to go bot side here, which is funny because I don't know if they're both intending to fight and just... Yeah, healing two people as comfy is a lot of dedication. Which is why I don't think that it's actually that good to have the healing reduction on comfy. Because, like, the two that are here, I think, are the best AoE healers in the game. Hoopa doesn't count, because I wish Hoopa was a good healer, but he's not. But, like, you really have, like, Comfy, Blissey, and, I was going to use initials, but you've got these two, and then Comfy, I think, for really, really good healing. And these two are AoE. I think you're going to take the healing reduction against the AoE. It's also, like, it might be worth it to just drop it on somebody who's dealing no damage anyways, and just say, like, hey, you're dealing even less damage, just take this and run with it. It also, since it doesn't stack additively, it's not that great. Same with Grievous Wounds, though, so I think that's the same. Which is why it's really annoying to watch people grab multiple. If I see this Trevenant run in, I'm going to lose my mind. Yeah. Hoopa healing is basically just a reset, so it doesn't count. I think it's really funny to say that Hoopa is a healer. It's not true, but it's just really funny to technically classify him as that. They do get there in time, though, which is a big win. However, Delphox kind of trolled popping her Unite on a single Trevenant who didn't even have to use his Unite in response, so this is going to be a hard fight. Yeah, this game is Jover. We're gonna... Where is 2x speed? we're gonna be quick here. Oh, they managed to kill the Venusaur, yay! How many kills do they get here? 2? 1? Yeah, that's not worth it. Like, you got a single kill on the Venusaur, and like, this Ray fight's gonna happen, and you're just gonna get stomped. Down 2. Ah! Jump scare. What are we looking at here? Down 2. Inteleon's up a level, which is impressive, but everybody else is down. Also, yeah, poison, what is it, Sludge Bomb? Yeah, it's Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb is definitely bait. It's also like, why would you ever take it? Because damage reduction is so useful on ADCs. Because, like, you can just pop it, get free damage reduction, and then continue on with your life, and that's so valuable. Yeah, this move is hard bait. 10 ticks. Like, it's 14, it's like a difference of 300 damage, but instead, you lose slow and you lose special defense reduction. Like, this is not bad, but you already have Slick Spoon, so you don't need a ton more. This is the big thing. 35% damage reduction. Yeah. Yeah, I understand the value against, like, a poke comp. Like, I can sort of understand the reason that you'd go for it this game. But like I was saying in draft, I don't think they're actually a poke comp. I think them being a poke comp is Omega Bait. Because these two are just going to aim to actually dive with, like, Fell Sting or Liquidation. Like, they're going to go on to you as hard as they can. There is no way this is a poke comp. Yeah. The special defense cut is, like, nice because you don't have any actual way to reduce special defense because there are no items in this game. But it's one of those, like, bait things. What the fuck? How did they... What the fuck is going on here? How do you... I look away for a second and they're down 2 members. Is this just a throw? That's just a whiff. Oh, Stitch going way too deep. The Intellion's allowed to get free damage. That said, Bliss Unite comes out, which means that Urshifu is just gonna fucking carry the game. Fair champion, by the way. Yeah, true. Imagine if it had Giga Drain. I wish I was good at Urshifu. He's like Riven, and I can't play Riven to save my fucking life. Weaving in autos is not my strong suit. You know what, I'm sad? I wish there was some sort of, like, pentakill. Because that was a great fucking play by the Urshifu in terms of, like, micro mechanics, and it's just not going to get recognized. Like, obviously he was definitely got some help from his team in terms of them kind of inning it away, but, like, it was not a bad play. Tsareena is the actual Riven? Oh, what the fuck does she do? The other thing is I need to actually learn champion abilities, like, better. Because whenever I see something, I'm like, oh, what does this champion do again? And I just click on fucking the database. Nah, this champ is more like... How would I explain this? This champ reminds me of, like, Cassante. Or, like, Jax. No, not Jax. It reminds me of Cassante a little bit. It doesn't strike me as a ton of Riven. Tsareena passive. I mean, animation cancels aren't what I think of when I think of Riven. I think of, like, the double autos. Yeah, this is like similar to the Riven passive, but Blue Urshi is literally just Riven in terms of gameplay. Because you do the same shit as Riven as you do with Blue Urshi, which is like your Q auto Q, E auto Q, shit like that is what you're doing with Urshi. So that's literally what you're doing. And I think that's exactly the same thing you're doing here with Riven. This is just like extremely fucking combo heavy, but like it just doesn't give me the vibes. Because like Urshi's also just about making sure you're timing shit, and this isn't exactly the same as it to me. I don't know. It's also one of those things where I think a lot of Pokemon in this game don't have great league equivalents. Because, like, this is just fucking Aatrox, is what I realized after playing some ranked yesterday. Like, this shit is just Aatrox. although it doesn't have like the sort of like health regen passives that Aatrox does. Yeah, a lot of them don't have great equivalents. Like, you can... I think the best way to say it would be, like, you can see where the inspiration... Yeah, it's just Aatrox, but worse. You can see the inspiration, I think, in a lot of characters for, like, League. Because I can be like, oh, yeah, Hoopa is Rise on crack. But, like, I don't think that's super fair to, like, what Hoopa actually is. Okay. Let's go back 5 seconds here. I'm gonna lock in Blastoise here. Yeah. I don't know anything about Dota, so there might be like a better explanation for champions in Dota as well. There's also definitely some stuff taken from, like, AoV that I recognize. Like, in terms of, like, healers, it feels very similar. And, like, I'm pretty sure Scissor ult is literally just the same as an ult in, like, Hawk. So, they're just stealing from themselves, which is fine. This is certainly a draft. This just looks fucking Omega or... I don't really like red here. I think I'd rather play blue. Like, Lapras is fucking broken, we know that. I also believe that Umbreon is just, again, fucking insane. But other than that, I think that, like, I really like the combo here that they have of, like, Umbreon space control. You can just mean look somebody, and then Ninetales will immediately follow up, and I think you have good play there. Where is fuck, I don't know which way they're going. Hold up, we're gonna skip into draft. Actually, I don't think it matters. We'll just hop onto one and then. I hate that they don't have these on the same page. It's a pain in the ass to look at both. I mean, I don't think you need to do a ton here, though. Like, I do agree that this is kind of a stinker in terms of picks. Like, I think pretty much anything else is better here. The only issue is I don't know. Like, maybe you go Venusaur here, actually. I think maybe, like, Venusaur is a bit better. Most likely Scyther. I agree. I think that this is probably the biggest stinker, but, like, at the same time, just playing space control with it isn't bad. Because I think what I'd like to see is if they do go Scyther, I'd like to see them split map where they, like, do the shit that LATAM teams do, where they'll go, like, we'll have one of them clear here, and then one of them clear here as they move towards the top side. Like, that's what I'd like to see. Just, like, get the A9 a bunch of farm early, and try to let them just dominate the Inteleon, who's not super strong until they hit that first power spike. That's what I'd like to see. I don't think that's going to happen, though, but... Buzz Blastoise in that spot. Yeah, but then who do you put in central area if you go Buzzwole Blastoise? Because, like, you already have Lapras, who is going topside here, and then Umbreon going bot side. And then it'd be Ninetales going bot side. So you've committed to your bot side here. You need central area and you need a top side, I think. What I'd like to see is maybe actually, hold up. No, here. Yeah, here. Let's go here. Dodrio angle, maybe, actually. I think this is, like, in terms of picks, like I said, I don't like this a ton. You can't really go Zoroark here. I think you kind of need a pocket for it. Urshi's banned. I think that Venusaur is like a maybe. It sort of fits into the team composition pretty well for what you want. I think it's unironically probably like a Dodrio angle. Like, I think this is my pick. Or I'm doing some weird shit. Like, I think what you could do is you could pick, like, who's a low farm carry? Like, I think you could pick, like, a really, like, fucking low econ. Like, I think if you pick a Venusaur here, you're fine. Dodrio, you're fine. I think you just pick something. Leafeon's banned. That's why I don't like it. Leafeon, Urshi, or banned. I think those would be the two choices if you're going. But I think since those are banned, you kind of have to go towards, like... Yeah, it's hard to see, but Leafeon is actually banned, so there's that. I think Dodrio or Venusaur is the angle here. Not a huge fan of this. I think it's, like, fine. Because, like, all that matters is that you kill Inteleon in this team composition. Because, like, the reason that I hate Blastoise, personally, I don't think it's that great, is, like, Lapras does a fuck ton of damage. But, like, I don't really like this because you're left in a composition like this where you have, like, 3 members, like, this entire, like, boom, 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 that don't do a ton of damage. And, like, you're really relying on this guy to get a ton of work done. And I don't like that. Yeah. Like I said, you could also do some weird shit where, like, maybe you go, like, Hoopa here, and then you still go Clefable, and then you put, like, and then you put, like, a Lapras in jungle, and then you have the Lapras attempt to jungle and the Hoopa clear, and then you just play, like, really passive. You send the Clefable topside. Actually, no. You could go Hoopa here, send Hoopa topside, and then put the Clefable in jungle with Lapras, and then have these two bot side. Yeah, that works. Yeah, but let me put it this way, right? If I'm in this scenario and I don't see this guy, right? And I'm like, okay, what do I want to fill in this team composition? Like, if something is a budget Lapras, that means it's doing it worse, right? Which is like, okay, cool, wow, no shit, great observation. But at the same time, it's like, knowing that you're picking something budget isn't exactly a great feeling here. So, like, going through this draft, I need to actually go through this draft, but, like, I just don't like this. I would have rather have seen, like, a Buzzwole, or just something that plays the game. Because I feel like this lane matchup is just, he doesn't get to play the game. Because he can't out-secure. He can't out-rotate. Like, he has nothing going for him. Yeah, that's basically what I was thinking. Like, I think you can flex Lapras jungle here. Which is like I was thinking I was cooking maybe a little bit too hard with Hoopa here, but, like, I think you could flex, like Blastoise, like you were saying earlier, and then Blastoise topside, Lapras jungle, and then just A9 Umbreon down here, Clefable topside. This is just a sus pick for me. I don't like it a ton. Especially because I don't know how you close distance on Inteleon. I think Inteleon's one of the hardest to close distance on. Yeah. You want him on until level 7, that's true. Is there anything you can do here? Okay, so on the other side, I've talked about this side enough, I think. We kind of went over this. On the other side, it's a bit weird they dropped Inteleon so late, because I think it's really worrying that you give them the pick here. Because if they pick Inteleon here, I don't think A9 here is good at all. I think you got lucky that they dropped Inteleon to you. I think you really kind of have to go Inteleon here. And then Inteleon here. They'll drop either Slowbro or Umbreon to you, and I think that's a better trade. Because if they pick Inteleon here, I think draft is over. I don't like dropping Inteleon. Because you have... If they pick Inteleon here, they have better poke. They can go long range. You can't actually engage into them because you have Slowbro. So I think what you need to do is you need to go Inteleon here. They'll probably pick the same thing, I'd guess. A9 Umbreon, and then you can just pick Slowbro here, which I think is a lot better. Like I said earlier, also not a fan of Blastoise here. Would have preferred to have seen something that does maybe a little bit more damage. But I also just, like, I don't think that the topside pool is great in this meta. Because, like, who do you have? Nope. 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 He wasn't legal. Nope. 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 You can play Cramorant. Nope. 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 Like, I'm just going through and, like, I don't think any of these guys are playable either. Can't play any of these guys. Can't play any of these guys. Can't really play any of these guys. Like, you don't have a ton of options, and that's not great to see. Yeah, I think that the addition of Blaziken is going to be really fucking nice. Because it means that, like, there's actually a good topside pick now. Instead of just having some weird ass shit. I also don't think that people are experimenting enough with topside either. Like, I didn't see a ton of it because it only got played like twice, but I really liked the Cramorant topside. I thought that was really, really good in terms of like what it was able to do and like the space you could create. I know that I don't know if I've spoken about it a ton, but like I think Hoopa topside is really playable and really good in terms of like how it can match up into like certain matchups. I don't think it's necessarily great into every matchup, but it's okay. What are we looking at here? What the fuck is this start? Red start here, Frization, probably going like this. That's what I'd assume. I don't know what the fuck this jungle pathing is. It makes no sense. I suppose they could go like this direction and it's okay in terms of pathing. Yeah, I think, like, I know that we talked about it in DMs a little bit, but like, I don't think there's any answer, because I don't think there's any answer in general to Hoopa. Like, because it happens every single fucking time that I watch a tournament where I'm like, oh, Hoopa is just the best angle here. Because, like, you cannot answer him in terms of, like, he beats you in tempo, he can do a good amount of damage, he has a good secure, he can always just reset off portal and then run back to lane or take portal back so you can't get a score. Like, he just wins every single matchup because of how his kit is built. If he's gonna score first goal, what are we looking at bot side here? I mean, they're fucking demolishing them. I'm a bit worried about where this Eevee is positioned, because this seems like a really risky spot and you don't have a great escape angle. Not to mention he's coming down from topside, so like, it's a little risky. Yeah, like, look, I think the best way to say it in my idea is like, if the answer to beating something involves just stomping it so hard early it never gets off the ground, then that means it's very good, because you have to consistently be able to win. Like, the amount of execution required, like the difficulty required, like if it's a difficulty slider, right? Like, you know, and like it's like, okay, well, cool, you know, do I have to win this lane 30% of the time, or do I have to win this lane 70% of the time? And if the answer is over here, it means it's a really good fucking answer, because it's like it's hard to just normally do. You can't just, yeah. Oh yeah, this is so fucking greedy. I respect the hell out of it, because what they did last time on the slow bro was just this exact thing, except they did it worse. So like, this is just taunting to me, but I don't know. Apper's getting stacks early. Actually, hold up. So the EV isn't running anything stacking, which is interesting that she's going so aggressively for scores. It's also really fucking weird how this is happening, because I think the slow bro is making the wrong decision here. Like, I've critiqued the slow bro's decision making a few times now, but like, I don't think split mapping is the answer here. I think you just have to stop this EV, because if you get this kill, you're doing great. Yeah, they took both the berries. What do you break early? Yeah, no. Score EXP is really good. Like, they're getting a good amount of EXP off of scores. It's not... How do I keep changing the size of my dots? Like changing, breaking pad early and like scoring early isn't bad, because you're getting a lot of stuff in terms of XP. It's definitely a good amount, because it's like, what, 2 times number of points. So like, as long as you score 2 points or more, you're getting a great amount of XP. This is also a greedy as fuck path by the Zacian. Like, skipping both ball toys. And it's one of those things that, like, legendary Pokemon can get away with and no other Pokemon can. Which is, like, the devs designed these Pokemon horribly. Because I think Zacian is probably the only one that has a good design. But, like, the power spike on these Pokemon is like, oh, base level of power, and then, like, legendary Pokemon base level of power. And you can't just bridge this gap at all, because evolutions don't help. It's also, like, again, you probably should have started blue, because if you start blue, I think you're done. Again, it's one of those, like, what's the right way to explain this? Fuck, I don't remember what it was. It would have been WRLA1? No, pre-WRLA1. Hold up, let me... okay, cool. Oh, we need to fucking zoom out of this shit. So, what was super fucking popular in the fuck is this map? It's not the league map I want. This one? That's a shitty map. Okay, here we go. This is a good map that I'm looking for. So, what was super fucking popular? Yeah. What was super popular in WRLA1 was to invade towards blue side. And the reason for this was that a bunch of junglers started just doing red and not dropping a normal ward here. And so this was super popular. And you usually do the late invade after you cleared like 1 or 2 camps, and then you go for a late invade. And so what other junglers started to do was they would just start blue, clear Grump, and then go Wolves, and then continue pathing towards bot side. The reason that you do this is because you know the enemy's going to late invade. And if you late invade, right, you have to either clear 2 camps, and then you'll be here a little bit later, and they can probably win the smite fight. You might have already used it on Raptors, so you don't have it up, blah 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 blah. right? I will see you in a second, Paladin Knight. So when you don't have this up, it means you were disadvantaged in this scenario. So what they do is they would continue to do this, and then the response was, hey, you just clear this side first. And that's what I feel like there's not enough of in terms of like forethought in Unite. Because like this, and like this is similar to the invade last time, where it's like the answer is just to find a good, you know, it's to find a good counter strategy, which is, hey, our answer is they're invading blue, or if they continue to invade red, we just start blue, which stops the late invade, and then you can go this side, path red, you'll be ahead in terms of XP for the invade, they can't actually finish red. I don't want to leak Discord. Hold up. Okay, there we go. I don't know why my thing has decided to become scuffed. Okay. Hold up, there we go. Okay, stream should be back, hopefully. Okay, there we go. This is the tsareena clip that we got earlier. I'm gonna mute this because I don't want to hear audio. That looks really fun to deal with, but yeah. Honestly seems very similar to like Cassante Jacks kind of things as well. Okay, let's get back into the water view. Yeah, just, that's like, you can't let that happen. The station literally just cheeses so hard, walks straight into here, and then just gets that blue buff for free, which is just a free kill. Again, the Slowbro has finally decided to make the correct decision and like come back and stop split mapping, but I think it's too late at this point. They're gonna kill topside. There's no way that's worth. The chance he actually get out of there, because that's incredibly greedy. That is so fucking greedy. If they get out of there, that's insane. Looks like they do. Yeah. What are we looking at here? I mean, I think you're favoring towards topside. Like, topside looks like they're winning. Bot side seems about even. 4-4, 5-5, 5-4. So, good amount ahead on that. I mean, yeah. Hold up, chat. I'll be right back. That's some shitty writing, but whatever. Okay. We're back. I got some snacks. I got some water. I got my hoodie. Hopefully I will no longer be cold. Might have to change out of my shorts too. I got the AC on. Yeah, this isn't great. Bot side's getting kind of stomped, and so is top side. Like, in terms of who's winning, I think orange or red is just straight up winning here. Like, you got Zacian, who's doing pretty well for himself. Got an invade, stole a buff. Now this is the timer too, which means that he can try to attempt a repeat gank, a repeat steal. Topside is winning 6-4, you can see. Lapras is pretty far behind. So, yeah. Some really poor uses of stasis in terms of how people are using it, I think. I'd like to see more offensive stasis. Because what it seems like is people just like, they get dove on and then they just pop stasis and they call it a day. But it's like, you need to offensively use it and like get into a position where stasis is actually providing value and it's not just like a 3-second additional death timer. Because it for this Clefable, it's literally just 3 seconds on its death timer. That's all the stasis is here. Like, you're never getting out of that. They get a double kill, or no, they don't get the war portal. But it's closed out a little bit. Like, I think this is exactly where you're looking to be. Lapras gets Perish Song, so they're allowed to play the game. That's nice. We're totally gonna get a score. I don't understand what's going on here in terms of the macro. Because, like, There's nobody covering either pad. You have 5 people here for this fight in mid, which makes no sense. Yeah, they get 51 points on you for free. They get 30 down here and 21 up here. It just makes no sense. Why are you letting this happen? Because like you see the Lapras move down, and then you see basically everyone follow them, sort of coming in from this angle, and you just like watch the enemy team react. Where like because they're here first, they get to move. Because like, so you lock him here, so you know that he's still topside, and he's going to be topside. And then you got 1 here, you got 2 here. So first of all, the A9 shouldn't rotate up. This is a mistake. The A9 should stay here. And then I think the Umbreon should continue to go this way and like pull out. And then the Lapras should go down here, and they should attempt to like dive these at the same time. I understand why the A9 stays here. I think they want this kill out of the slow bro. But even if they do that, they should then back up, and I think that's a lot better than going for mid Bs. Oh, so they even see the score, and they're just like, we're not even gonna fucking bother. It's not worth it, he's already got it. Which is just like, I think that this is just a macro mistake, because the A9 moves up too far. And then that allows the Inteleon to backfill the space. And then at the same time, these guys just fill all of this space out. And then what the fuck? Again, this makes no sense to me. What the fuck is Lapras doing? You saw 1 person retreat this direction. You know that 1 person is topside. Why are you going towards bot? This is bad fucking macro. I think what you need to do here is I think 1 person at least needs to go topside. You need to have somebody stopping the scores. And then you can see the rest of the team is aiming to go this way. But it's just way too fucking late. Especially because the Lapras just kind of, like, if you watch them, they just kind of, like, they go this way. And they're like, oh, no, actually, I want to go this way. And they, like, turn around again, and they're like, actually, let's go topside. And they turn around again, and it's like they finally go outside. It's like, you need to make up your mind way faster. I mean, they get a pad break, but it's not that great. It's only, what, 2 over? And even then, points are still even. Points are still even, which means even XP has been given out in terms of points, right? And so that means that these guys are going to be ahead in XP because they're going to get the extra odd no rotations. I don't like this. I don't like that they broke the pad. I don't like that they're giving tons of free XP up top side. I don't like it at all. Yeah, I don't get it. We got 13 seconds as Wartortle attempts to start rotating down. So he's like, yeah, these guys aren't coming topside. I've basically farmed all I can. I can't do this solo. So he's gonna move this direction. I like it. This makes sense. Yeah, I don't get what's going on here. I also don't get why he's pulling away. I understand like farming blue. I don't understand if he goes to farm red. Yeah, this makes no sense. This is what the fuck is going on here. I'm going to lose my mind. What the fuck is this macro? So you know, okay, well you don't know that war total is going down bot side. However, the rest of your team is down here. You are attempting to fight for this objective. I understand why you would pull off and farm blue. Why are you pulling off and farming red? It makes no sense. There is no value to farming red in this situation. Obviously, like, you want to kill the jungle camps because that's good, but at the same time, killing these guys is more valuable. And this pull off just absolutely fucks his team. And like, if they're going to do this, the rest of your team needs to pull off and just start running topside, because then you're just going to make a cross map play. This is just like, we're just going to watch the team get fucked. What is that? 2 for 0 and nothing given over. 2 for 0 plus neutral objective. Plus, yeah, 2 for 0 plus neutral objective. And they're probably going to score, I would expect at this point at least. Like, I don't know how this is somehow worse than the first game. This is somehow worse than the first game we saw, and it makes me want to die. I mean, if Red loses this game somehow, I am going to be amazed that they lose this game. I expect it's probably at like a Rayquaza throw, given there's not that much of a point difference, but we'll see. Okay, so I like this. Pop stasis as he gets liquidation. Actually getting some utility value from it. They also get regi eleki, which is really favored because there's 2 members down here. All 5 are topside. Like, you're doing really good here. I think you want to push this as far as you can and try to get this kill. Because, like, that's the only way you're actually going to win this game, is if you get, like, a big lead here. Because, like I said earlier, although Orange hasn't been doing a great job of farming it, like, they have more XP here, they've had their jungle camps up, they also got that big fight near bot side, they have Regi for, like, I think 40 more seconds-ish. So I don't really like this in terms of, if you don't get a big score here, I think you're still way far behind. Well, this game is fucking over. Straight up wiped them. That's troll. You could have scored 12 more points there for no reason, and you didn't. Like, I don't get it, man. Not to mention, I think getting XP on the slow row is really valuable. Again, this is just bad fucking macro. So, like, you know neutral is spawning in 30 seconds. You just gave up your topside. You should try to push this out. You have control. They don't have pad. Like, so they don't have pad here. You just lost pad here. You also know that they used a bunch of their fucking points, so all you need to do is show some presence, and then send, like, 3 members bot side that they can attempt to contest. Preferably like these 3 straight off of respawn, and then just have the Lapras play the re side here, and then as you do that you can have the Umbreon rotate, because Lapras doesn't have Unite move. I apologize if you hear me chewing. I'm munching on some goldfish. I want to try to stream until like 1, get like maybe 2 more games done, and then go eat some lunch, call it a day. Be glad I had some goldfish in my mouth for that, because I would have screamed, oh my god, what the fuck is this shit? So you loot. Oh, I'm gonna lose my mind. So first of all, you have 3 people. Topside. So you can't actually get to the objective in time, right? You're doing this way too late. Lapras has just gotten Unite move, or it will just get it, so it takes way too late to rotate, means they're going to be late to the team fight. Then, immediately after the team fight ends, after they've given over the 21% special attack boost and attack boost, you know, after they've given over this big buff, they continue to fight for 0 reason. I don't understand. Like, I am genuinely... This is like watching, like when teams in Wild Rift, if you lose the Drake, what do? You have like 2 options. You can either A, fight, or B, run away. The answer is always B. You run the fuck away. Because like, this is what happens when you fight after you just lost a neutral objective. Unless they took a ton of damage doing the neutral objective, which you don't in this game, because you have a ton of damage to just kill it immediately. So Lapras shows up late. Also doesn't have anyone on its back. That's the first thing I notice. 2, the rest of the team is showing up late. They're really split. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's 5? Where's the 5th member of the team? Oh, they're dead. They just died. Okay. So... yeah, this is already a bad fight. You're down a man. You just lost the neutral objective. Your ADC is chunked. You run the fuck away. Like, you have to give up this pad. It is, unfortunately, a fact of life that you're going to give up this pad. You just run. You play for pad. You might not actually have to give it up. I might be over-exaggerating there. But you just play, like, back here. And on pad. Basically, you want like A9 and I think like probably Lapras back here. They're going to just continue to pelter away, and then you probably have like these 2 on pad. And the goal here is to just not lose pad, but even then, I don't think that's very viable. It's like, this is just not a team fight you want to take. You want to get the fuck out of here. Why are you re-engaging, right? So I say you want to get the fuck out of here. Lapras jumps on. They're like, no, we want to fight. Why do you want to fight this? This guy is just respawning. This guy is still not full HP. And this guy is off in the middle of Narnia. Right there, he's behind the map. So like, look at this. 2 go in, they die. Then, the A9 shows up late. Immediately, just boom, dies. Like, this is just not how you want to play this game out. I don't get it. I don't get why you fought that. It makes no sense. So, yeah, that's... Korea and Japan, my two arch nemeses in terms of mobile gaming. Okay. They're going on a pretty good dive at this point, but... So what happens here? They just get aggro. So first of all, that ain't good. You don't like to see that. Like, they're already a bunch of points ahead of you, and you're just giving up points for free. Doesn't tell you to step too far forward, or what? So they force Inteleon out, they forced a flash, flashes back that direction. In the meantime, they just all just fucking jump on top of Slowbro. Doesn't look like he has time to pop Amnesia. Yeah, so he just gets popped before he can do any sort of like Amnesia shenanigans. Get any of his defenses up, and then there you go, 2v5 on pad. I don't expect this to actually turn out that well for them. Because the fucking... The goon squad is arriving. Huh. That turned out better than I thought it would. So they get what? Basically 4 kills. Get the pad down, so it's a lot better. I think in that case, like, obviously this is like a clicker based analysis kind of thing, but I think knowing that, like, I understand why they took this fight on topside, because you're way stronger right here, but at the same time I think like once the Slowbro gets burst, you kind of have to back off a little further away. Like, I'd like to see teams start playing from like, because like first pad is like right here. I'd like to see teams start playing from like this area, where like you're just trying to stop pad scores that are like a little bit too aggressive, and just like give up more scores, at least in terms of like scenarios like this. Looks like we're gonna get a eleki. This isn't great timing for it. You'd much rather have it a little bit closer to 2 minutes to try to force maybe a leash away from Rayquaza, but I think it's fine. This is a relatively close game still. I think that Orange team has kind of bungled some of the leads that they were given in terms of like free Audinos, and they didn't clear their jungles as much as they needed to. Like if you think about the regi fights in terms of basement regis, there was a lot of time that jungle wasn't cleared. The Asian just hasn't been clearing super hard. Ads, veg. What are we looking at here? Do they get regi? Maybe. Okay, so they actually get the bottom regi here. So that feels really good going into like, it's gonna last until probably what, 1:30-ish? No, about 1 minute. That's about 90 seconds. So it's not bad there. Definitely helps in terms of being able to get the neutral objectives for Rayquaza, because that's your biggest goal here. That's a bad kill though. You don't want to have this happen. I understand the goal here is to save Lapras, and you just can't get out, which is like a valiant effort. But I think it's better to have Lapras die here. They're level 13, but whoever is going to get the kill is probably going to be like Zacian or one of these three who's also level 13. And Lapras has Unite move, so they can get back really fast. In this case, right? Umbreon cannot get back as quickly. Also doesn't have Unite move. So it's like, I think I'd rather have them there, being up, being able to farm, maybe get that Unite move back before Rayquaza. Because Lapras is going after Recall anyway at this point, so yeah. I think you just let them die. Which is a bit of a cold-hearted take, but whatever. They also do have pads, so it's fine, but you can just see how much damage Rayquaza is already taking. Oh, they're not even going to get in. Oh, blue got it. Yeah, so I mean, I think you just need to burst a little harder here. Because, like, you can just see they're not actually doing a ton of damage on top in terms of Rayquaza. And I think that you can almost get burst here, but it looks like they just kind of flip it, and it looks like they don't get it. Who gets it? Oh, yeah, that's a little yikes that the support gets it there, but yeah, this game is over now. I think the orange, red, whatever you want to call them, threw this so fucking hard. Like, I think that this fight was a big comeback point. I love that I can just write off the last minute of this game because it doesn't fucking matter. Great design, by the way. I think the biggest issue was just that Zay should, I think, probably should have a bigger lead than he does. You can even see the scissors at 15, and they've been fucking obsessively clearing. Anyways, that was kind of a fucking throw, but, you know, always glad to see Korea lose, baby. Do I want to watch the LG games? We'll end the recording there as well.